quite expensive, but they're off the peak that they were when you compare them to their 52-week high. In fact, I did catch up with Manchanda of Dr. Lal's in our special series on Medicine Box. This was a couple of weeks ago in their head office in Gurgaon. Listen in to what he had to say.
I think there has been a change on multiple fronts. First change that I see at a consumer level is that patients or in general public is largely aware about their health, and they want to proactively take charge of in terms of their prevention of health, etc. So I think the testing in general is going up, is one change that I see. The second change that I see is that people are now looking for convenience. Earlier, at least, patients would walk into our labs, stand in the queue, but it's no more like that. They actually want home collections, they want to book online, pay online. So I think convenience is another factor that actually has happened. On the business model side, as you rightly said, a lot of players have come in, and we are seeing entry of e-commerce players. We are seeing entry of hospitals now getting into retail pathology, and even some pharma companies wanting to come into diagnostics. So every one of them actually is trying to see that what strength they bring on table. Like hospitals generally have pathology lab on their own, so the back-end synergies are there for them. Pharma companies believe that they have front-end connect with the doctors, so they want to actually see front-end synergies. And e-commerce players are trying to say that we are trying to give a very convenient experience and also probably trying to give it a great value for money. So I think on the competition side and plus consumer changing, overall penetration levels of diagnostics have gone up in the recent past. Of course, this year, many diagnostic companies are up against a very high base of COVID, but I think that will be behind us after a few quarters. But in general, I am seeing is that landscape is changing, both from demand side, consumers are looking at something different, and as well as provider side, they are now providing much more convenient customer experience than ever.
But now that there's so much competition which has risen, you know, we've spoken about full body checkup at 300 rupees. We've spoken about, you know, how one of the online aggregators launched at 100 rupees in one of the cities. What is the discounting like right now?
See, in this business, if you study the P&L of diagnostics company, the reagent cost doesn't constitute much. It's a very large part of the cost structure is coming out of overheads. If you can actually do more tests per visit per patient, you are able to actually offer a better value for money. And in the recent past, a lot of bundling has happened, and people are now selling these packages. So one is able to give much higher discount than what one would be able to do on individual tests or panels. That's one of the reasons you see a lot of discounting happening.
So what is the discount that Dr. Lal's has to give now as compared to earlier?
I think honestly, we have really not chased the pricing competition. We strongly believe that in diagnostics, quality is very important. And if you look at overall healthcare spend, diagnostics just constitute 5 to 10% of the overall total healthcare spend. And we believe that patients are fully aware that if they don't get this step right, the downstream cost could be much higher. So we have always focused on the core of our business, which is quality, and making sure that we help our clinicians and customers to do a timely diagnosis.
All right, with that, we'll take a short break. On the other side, we'll get chatting with Aditya Agarwala of Invest for Edu with some trading strategies.